fashion. But first, we're going to start with the first episode, which was contraceptives. We are going to see, we saw the types, the benefits, and how the different contraceptives acted in our bodies. We talked to an expert who expounded more. We had interviews with an experienced mother who has used contraceptives for some time, and we saw all this in one. So stay tuned and watch.
Wafula, siku mingi my brother.
Si unajua kumekuwa na shortage. Hata sioni haja ya kutoka nyumbani.
Hii unga yote umetoa wapi? Na vile bei ya unga imepanda kuliko bei ya petroli. Sisi tuko hapa tu tunakula mboga na mawazo ya ukali. Unachota mboga, unafikiria ukali, unamesa.
This is Jamii Mili. Subsidized unga ya ukali. 2 kgs is only going for 90 shillings. Na 1 kg for only 47 shillings.
Usiona ni enjoy tafadhali.
Hebu ingia tuende tukakule. There is enough for both of us, my brother.
Unajua mimi na wewe tusipo-cooperative against this shortage tutavotaka.
That is true, my brother.
Welcome to Pop News. I am your host, Mario Bukera. This is a news and an interpretation program that focuses on issues of business, art, and also science. But first, the news headlines. Donald Trump declares a reverse rule of DACA rule. North Korean grow in talks in South. New California declares independence. On today's episode, you're going to talk about contraceptives, the dangers it comes with it, the effects, and also the science behind it. Jacqueline Osori was in the field, and this is what she had to get us.
Contraceptives are devices or drugs that are used to prevent pregnancy. They are used by both the male and the female species. Examples of contraceptives are birth controls, condoms, vaginal rings, and the cervical caps. They have effects on the body due to the hormonal changes in the body system. Do you think contraceptives are used for the right purpose or they are abused? We talked to some of the citizens who had their opinions on contraceptives.
I think many people, especially university students, misuse contraceptives because they take them knowing that, because they're sexually active, they take contraceptives knowing that they can use them and prevent themselves from getting pregnant.
I think yes, young people do abuse contraceptives, mostly because they don't know how to use them. You find a lot of people taking birth control, they don't know the regulation they should take. A lot of young people using condoms in the wrong way, and I think that has a lot to do with our sexual education. So I'd say yes, they do abuse contraceptives.
I think contraception is a 50-50 thing. There are those who use it for the right purposes because they want to plan for their families, and there are those who use it for maybe because it's readily available to them, so they end up using it, and we know that there are some who get side effects from them.
Using contraceptives when they are single is wrong from the word go. Mainly because contraceptives are meant to help families, couples manage their families in terms of how many children they want to have. And so for me, a young person who is single, who is using contraceptives, is engaging in, an unacceptable behavior of extramarital, relationship. And I'm saying this more from a Christian perspective. So as a Christian, I would not find that acceptable.
I talked to some of the citizens, and most of them say that they prefer using contraceptives because it prevents diseases like STIs and pregnancies. These contraceptives help us to lead normal lives. We inquired from an expert who's a pharmacist who expounded more about contraceptives.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so can you tell us a bit about contraceptives? How do you understand them?
Contraceptives. Probably these are drugs or injections or pills that are used to control family planning especially married couples. The type of the family planning to use, yeah.
Okay, and
We use contraceptives, there are injections. We have pills, these are tablets, and then we have intrauterine device, IUCD. Yeah, and mostly they work differently with advantages and disadvantages.
okay.
Yeah.
And what is the difference between the insertion contraceptives and the pills which are taken orally?
Mostly from one person to other, they behave with the body differently. The type of contraceptive to use depends on your body reaction towards them. First, the difference between oral pills and contraceptives, the insertion one do not use any chemical. Mostly they block the passage of sperms to fallopian tube where they will get fertilized. That's mostly the principle behind the insertion contraceptives. While the pills happen to interfere with the hormones in the body. The hormones responsible for stimulation of.
According to CNBC.com, 2/3 of the population, including men and women, are using birth control methods as contraceptives. This statistics is to show that most people are involved in sexual intercourse nowadays. Contraceptives are taken in different ways. Some are inserted through the body, such as coils, and others are taken as pills. We talked to another expert who is a doctor to expound more about these statistics.
Start.
What are contraceptives?
Contraceptives, these are just drugs or injections that are used to prevent pregnancy.
What are the types of contraceptives?
Okay. We have injectables and pills, and we also have implants. For example, for implants, we have one by the name Jadel, which can be inserted in the human body, and it stays for long. That one is classified as a long-term contraceptive. Yeah. We also have drugs like we have drugs which are classified into two. There's one for combined contraceptives, combined oral contraceptives. They're also commonly known as COX. And we also have progesterone. Those two have those two work differently. For example, if one reacts to combined contraceptives, he or she is usually given the progesterone oral contraceptive. Yeah, both of them just have hormones. And we have injectables, which is mostly used by women for 3 months, by the name Depo-Provera.
Okay, can you tell us the difference between insertion and pills that are taken orally?
Pills, they tend to work for a short time. Yeah. While insertions, which I've named them, like Jadel, they are taken for a long time. And for insertions, they are said to be more of profit than the pills, because in most cases you find pills, people may forget to take them. But insertions, when you have them, you can't forget to take them because they're already in the system. Yeah. There's not much difference because both of them, they produce hormones. The only difference is that the duration. One tends to be more of the long term and the other the short term.
So can you tell us why the contraceptives don't work on the same body types?
Okay, it depends with the reaction to the body, your body's reaction to the drug. For example, you might find one client will react to pills but not insertions, and another one will react to insertions but not pills. It all just depends with the hormones of the body.
This first century, people have begun to embrace contraceptives, and the world is becoming more aware of family planning, and we are able to sustain our families. Reporting for PAP News, Jacqueline Oteri.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. We had a chance to talk to Kelina Butsiri, who is a frequent user of contraceptives, to clarify to us more about this.
Mimi naitwa Bogwa na hapa ni Bogwa Enterprise. Tunauza ng'ombe, kuku, nguruwe, kwero, bata, dhamaki, spare part, airtime, motura, jogo karaga. Pale niko na kabushari, dispensary, moshari, library, hardware na ka supermarket. Pale napo niko na kagarashi, kiosk, photocopy na kasaiba cafe. Business is very efficient. Why? We use Fiber Business 15. Communication, streaming, research, download, conferencing, online payment, tracking. Only Fiber Business can do that.
Bogwa. Lori imeisha mafuta.
Weka giri moja.
Hii itanifikisha tu. Sitaweza kurudi.
We dungu, unataka kunimaliza. Kwenda ni kupanda mlima. Ukirudi, weka gari free. Teremka na gravity.
Talked about fashion, and this was all about hair trends, the kinds of hair people put, be it braiding, be it the way you shave men, and we really saw the issue of people really put on hairstyle that fit their facial structure. People have different facial structure that is round, kitty, heart, and also pentagon. We were able to talk to our facial therapist. We were able also to talk to our consultant who expounded more about the facial structures. And at last we saw that people really are just copying styles from the West. They're not really considering their facial structure, and this is an issue. So let us see what we had in store. Welcome to PAP News, and this is our next episode. I am your host, Maria Lukerio. It's a news and interpretation program that focuses on issues of business, art, and also science. But first, the news headlines. MP of Kitui dismisses. Matiang'i orders for all school buses to be painted yellow. Kenyatta Hospital abuses have been made public. On this episode, we shall deal with fashion, look at hair trends, and whether people put on styles that fit their faces. Audrey Gessa is in the field.
People have different faces, and these faces go hand in hand with the different hairstyles. These faces include oval, neat, round, heart, and many others. While choosing the different hairstyles, both men and women should consider these factors. In today's world, people follow the upcoming trends or the different celebrities instead of looking at the factors that you've just mentioned. We went out to the streets and we found out the different views on hairstyles.
I don't think people really do put their right hairstyles because they don't know fashion. They literally are not into fashion.
Sometimes people don't put on hairstyles that suit their faces because you find maybe someone saw a hairstyle with a model and then you want to try it on and it suits them because that's their face and that's the shape of their face and it's not similar to yours. So you find maybe the hair is nice but it doesn't look what the wearer.
I think some people do, some people don't. So it depends with how you know yourself. So if you know yourself really, what hairstyle, the shape of your head, and a lot of facial things, you know what is good for you. But I have been places and I've seen people who didn't do justice for their faces.
My thinking, hair is just another form of adventure to try out things and explore the different kind of looks that you can have on you. So I don't necessarily think because I'm round-faced or oval-faced, I should plate a particular style. Why not try this? Why not try this color? Because at the end of the day, it's adventure. Whatever looks.
I think people do hairstyles that suit their faces. People just go after trends. If you see your friend has some fluffy hairstyle and you like it, you just go for it even though it doesn't suit you, and the vice versa.
Out and spoke to people, and most of them say that people do not consider the different face shapes while putting on a style. They look up to Western cultures or look up to styles that are more pocket friendly. We sought out clarification from one of the experts, who is a beautician.
The hair in this generation is highly judged, whereby people say either you put weave or wig or braid or anything or natural hair. But it all matters with the hairdresser, because hair is very valuable to a woman. And the Word of God says that the beauty of a woman, the glory of a woman is in her hair. So today we are going to discuss about the kinds of face, the shapes of the face, and the exact type of hair that will be best for them. For instance, there are those who have an oval face. It is best for them to have puffy hair, because it makes their face being narrow and oval to go in alignment to the puffy hair. And if one has a forehead, it's much to the advantage to have a fringe to cover it off at the tip of the head. And the other issues for one who has a round face is highly goes with a bob haircut. So it's perfect for that kind of type of hair. And those who have a kit type of hair or love hat, also they can go well with a bob haircut. With a bob hair, it can be a wig or a wig. It looks best on them. And today, most people want the kind of hair, but they go beyond the expense of the financial needs. But it all depends with the hairdresser. Because you can buy an expensive hair, and yet the hairdresser makes it so pathetic. So you need to go to the best hairdresser to make it look legit.
According to hairstyler.com, 2/3 of women's hairstyle are inspired by celebrities. Hairstyles go from long, short, and layered to shag styles. Face types are defined by the jawline, and the statistics show that to determine your face type, you need to pull your hair back in a headband and analyze what you see in the mirror and see whether it is oval, round, square, or hat. We also spoke to a second expert who is a hair therapist to expound more.
Times we tend to get styles that are trendy, and because you saw your friend with something else, you tend to imitate that, and sometimes it does not work because you have different facial structures. There are some people who have heart shapes, you have round shapes, you have diamond face shape. So sometimes when we tend to just imitate styles, it doesn't work, because I think one of the things that you should really consider when getting a hairstyle is your face shape.
I had a chance to speak to David Okundi to give light to this hair trend. Is buying goods and services with the aim of making a profit. And in this episode, we talked about online businesses. We saw the advantages, we saw the reasons why the common man with a premise has been affected with online business. We are not saying that it's bad to have an online business, but we see the effects of it. So we were able to talk to a consultant, a business administrator, to take us more about this. They talked about the common man, the hawker, had issues because nilikuwa naendelea vizuri. Hizo words hazita. This is our last episode of Hack News, and welcome. I am your host, Mario Mukera. It's a news and interpretation program that focuses on issues of business, art, and also science. But today we're going to deal with business. But first, the news headlines. American Airlines goes cash free at airports. Donald Trump meets with Kagame at first. Of a women attack on Facebook. In this episode, you're going to deal with online business. Are they legit? Do they work? And the effect that they have on the common mwananchi or a hawker. We have Beldame Kimori, who is in the field, to give us more insight about this.
A business is also known as an enterprise or a firm. Modern technology has made enterprises to do their work from anywhere. In fact, many companies operate in digital environments. Online businesses have no premise and some have. But the question is, are all these online businesses legit?
When we talk about online businesses, it depends on the sources of those businesses, the companies that are involved, the organizations that are involved. But not all of them. Why? Because several people have been conned of their hard-earned money through dubious arrangements, people that are anonymous and all that. And even companies that pose as genuine, but they may not be even registered. So to me, I'll ask that if whoever wants to engage in online businesses, you need to establish whether those companies are genuine, whether they are legitimately registered, and whether they have been operating. And this can be established from their locations, situations where they are supposed to be found. But engaging in online businesses blindly is likely to be counterproductive, and perhaps people may lose millions or even hundreds of thousands of their money.
That online businesses are legit because from my personal experience, I've been buying electronics online from Jumia, and they are always up to standard and they're legit.
Them, but some of them, not all of them, some.
Why?
Of course, because we live in a world where people are looking for money through whichever way. Some are authentic, you can deal with them. Others con you in the process of dealing with them. So yes, that's why I'm saying some of them are not, others are.
Online platform has made life easier because you get everything at your doorstep. Some people say that product delivered is not the same as the one ordered. We talked to Catherine Wanjiru, who is a business consultant, to give us more insight on this topic.
Thank you.
So today we're talking about online business. Can you tell us what is online business?
Okay. Online business is where businessmen sell their properties and items through the internet, creating a website and posting those items there through Facebook and other platforms on the using either a computer. Yeah.
And what challenges do we face as consumers and also the sellers on the website face?
Okay, mostly the challenges with a consumer may face when purchasing something online is sometimes they give contacts. Sometimes you call them, they are not available. They don't get, you don't get to talk to them when you need them. There is also fear as a customer. You don't know whether you are dealing with the right people. So sometimes there is that fear of whether when I purchased it, is it the right thing to do? Yeah.
And the owners of the website, what challenges do they face?
Owners of the website, sometimes they may lack the knowledge. Yeah, they may lack the knowledge of dealing with it. Interacting with the customers. It may be a bit expensive opening those pages. It is not cheap, so it may not be very easy for them. And also to convince customers, it's not very easy. Yeah. And something else, like the area of the consumer, sometimes you find you may be dealing with a con when you're purchasing something. Like I can give an experience of a product I was purchasing.
Yes.
And before I went to purchase, I had seen these people posting another warning, warning people of another lady who had used their page to advertise almost the same thing that like their product, and it was not the right product.
And what types of sites are there in the market right now?
Sorry?
What types of sites are there in the market right now?
Sites, we have Jumia, we have Msoko, then there are also Alex, although nowadays it's not very much being advertised. Yes.
And what can you tell maybe consumers who opt to use online to buy their products? What can you advise them?
I can advise them to be keen. Yeah. because you're not there, you're not seeing the product. You don't know whether it's the quality you need. So just be sure that the person you're dealing with is the right person. If possible, get a third party to give you their experiences on a certain item. Yeah.
In this millennium era, everything is going digital. Be sure not to be left out. Reporting for PAP News, my name is Beldine Waliula.
Beldine, we had a chance to speak with a business consultant to give us more insight about the dangers or the effect that the common mananchi has been brought about by the online businesses. This marks the end of all our 3 episodes. Thank you for joining us, and thank you very, very much, and continue subscribing. I've been your host, Mario Mukera.
Thank you for staying all along. Thank you, my fans. Thank you, my viewers, for watching all these episodes. Thank you, subscribe, like, and thank you for your comments. Thank you. I have been your host, Mario Mukera, and this is the PAP News.